Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending March 17th. Now, I'm going to go through the slides, but you're going to see a pattern. 70 to 80% of all the sales done in Toronto have something in common, and I'll uncover that with you as we go through the slides. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. Do me a favor. Take a second, hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends. If you hit the bell button, you're reminded of also when these videos come out every single week. Okay, so I'm talking about the City of Toronto. This is just for detached. I'll get into the condos a little bit later on in the show. Now, what are we looking at here? So we can see that sales every single week, just about since the beginning of the year, sales have been going up, where last week we sold 341 detached homes in Toronto. And this is just the City of Toronto. They're supposed to be going up. This seems to be a normal market. Even though we're still in a pandemic, we're in a normal cycle. And as we head into spring, activity typically picks up. Now, it didn't last year. At the springtime, when we're supposed to get this huge influx of activity, we're in a lockdown. And so our activity happened more towards the summer and continued on from there. However, this year seems to be quite normal in the real estate field. So sales are up 341. Of those sales, 78 sold at $2 million or more. So the luxury market's doing pretty good. 78 is one of the higher weeks that we'll see here, and I've got about 8 months of data on the board here. So 78 is a very strong week, and it's a little over 20% of the sales. Can you imagine? 20% of all the detached homes sold are at $2 million or more. Average sold price came down slightly from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,677,000. That's what the average detached home in the City of Toronto sold for last week. Almost 1.7. And overall, average sold price has been going up week after week. Although up and down, but generally speaking, been going up. Now, comparing it to last year, the blue is last year's average sold price. The orange is this year's. It's really tough moving forward from here to compare it to where it was last year, just because at this time last year we were starting our lockdown, and the numbers comparing to last year really don't make sense. So I'm not going to compare it to last year, but before that we were way up from where we were last year, and again 78 sold at $2 million or more, and last year at this time it was 37, so we're way up from there. Looking at sales, every single week we can see sales going up, and that's an important number to know, but here's one of the numbers we really got to pay attention to. 80% of the sales sold at asking price or more. Understand that? 80% of all detached sales last week sold at list price or more. That really tells you something about the environment of the detached market. When we look at listings, sitting quite high, 531 detached homes were put on the market last week that were listed, and months of inventory. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, I'm going to take a second for you folks to explain months of inventory real fast. Supply and demand. If you were to put a number to that, that's what months of inventory is. The higher the months of inventory, kind of implies that, hey, houses are on the market for a longer time, there's more to choose from, and if you're a buyer and there's lots of choices, that helps to bring prices down. But if there's not a lot of choices and properties are selling quick and you have to decide, that gives more muscle to the seller, and so months of inventory is low and prices tend to go up. And that's where we're sitting at now. So anything below 4 months of inventory is a seller's market. Right now, it's an aggressive seller's market. Sellers are in charge, and this is why we see prices going up. And 0.6 months, that's like half a month of inventory, and 80% are being bought or sold at list price or more. Kind of tells you the environment. If you're just now thinking, let me get out there and let me buy or let me sell, that's the environment you're going into. Either if you're buying or you're selling, it's so important you use the right strategy. Call a good realtor to help you navigate through that. If you need a name of a good realtor, give me a call. I can help you out to find a really good realtor. That's an inside joke for those of you that know I'm a full-time realtor. Months of inventory for semis is sitting at 0.4. Now semis are, there's not that many sales done in semis. Last week we sold, I got my cheat sheet here, 109 semis. Sitting at 0.4 months, the average semi sold for $1,258,000. As long as months of inventory sit this low, semi prices are going to stay high and go higher. Townhouses, 0.6 months of inventory. Before that, there's 0.4. Average sold price for townhouses is shooting way up. We're sitting at $1,337,000. There was only 35 townhouses sold last week. 5 of those sold for between $2 million and $3 million. Yes, townhouses, $2 million to $3 million. And that's what is shooting that price, the average sold price, way up. Let's get into condos. When we look at sales, we sold 512 condos last week. And sales have been gradually going up, and they're supposed to be going up. I know there's been so much talk about the condo market. Well, it's picking up steam and getting stronger, and once it hits full stride, it'll be really tough to slow the condo market down, just because we don't have immigration yet, and we will soon. We don't have the universities open yet, and we will soon. So as the condo market kind of gets in a stride, all these other forces coming in, helping the condo market, are just going to be adding more fuel to the fire. That's the way I see it. Average sold price came down a little bit to $680,000, and overall though, average sold price has been going up when it comes to condos. Now, comparing to last year doesn't make a lot of sense, but let me tell you, last year we sold 24. No, sorry, I got these numbers backwards here. Last year we sold 34 condos at $1 million or more. This year at the same time we sold 24 condos at $1 million or more. So there's a difference of 10, and yet average sold price is almost exactly the same, which kind of, you'd figure if you sold 10 more at the luxury condo market, that should be higher, but they're sitting the same. So condo prices are holding their own right now. When we look at sales, sales are going up. We're not comparing to last year anymore, so let's kind of pretend the blue is not even there. But here's the number to pay attention to for this year. 70% of those condos sold for list price or more. So in the detached market, 80% of detached sold at list price or more. Condos, 70% sold at list price or more. That's what's happening out there. There's lots of action, there's lots of activity, and buyers are struggling to find, to buy the condo. When we look at listings, listings are going up. They're not shooting up, which is helping to maintain low inventory, but 773 condos were listed last week, and this is again just for the city of Toronto. And when we look at months of inventory, we're sitting at 0.7. It was 0.7 of a month the week before that, then 0.9. Months of inventory is low, and you know, as long as months of inventory is way down here at these numbers, average sold price is going to stay where it is or go higher, and that's what we expect to happen. And if we summarize all the home types, and this is just for the city of Toronto, detached is sitting at 0.6, semi is sitting at 0.4 months of inventory, towns 0.6 months of inventory, the condo market 0.7 months of inventory. It doesn't matter what you buy or what you sell. In any of these home types, it's a seller's market, and it's an aggressive seller's market. And we're heading into the spring, the busiest time of the year. Look, I don't know what you're reading, what headlines that you're seeing out there. but the Toronto real estate market is super strong and it's super aggressive right now, and everything points to it becoming stronger and more aggressive. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. If you have any questions or need any help, I'm happy to help. I'm a full-time realtor. My team, Team Sessa, we're all full-time realtors ready to serve you. Have a great day.